Yeah.
Whenever you're ready.
All right.
I'll shut up.
No, go ahead.
Oh.
That's how we do it.
Cool.
We segue
Nah,
into
he,
it.
he had said, I don't be thinking that I'm disrespectful until somebody come to me with their feelings hurt. And then I'm still not disrespectful. They feelings is just hurt.
Yes.
Yeah.
I 145%
I think we talked
agree.
a little bit about that.
Yeah. Maybe
Not knowing what you was, not knowing how you talk to people, but just
Well, even the post you put up, like that short you put up, like sometimes I don't even deal with certain people because I know they're not gonna be able to take me.
Yeah.
and that's just it is what it is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, what's that? Oh, somebody sent me a text. Okay. How you feeling, Cuddy?
I'm chilling, man.
We got a special guest today.
Special guest up in the house.
We got a special guest today. How you feeling, my brother?
Delightful, man. Delightful.
Delightful.
Just dandy.
Man, we about to get into it. It's your boy Long Live Most. We back at it again with another You Good Digital podcast. I'm here with my cousin.
Oscar.
You dig what I'm saying? We got a special, very, very, very special guest today. I grew up with this man since I was like, I don't know, 12, 11, 13, 14, somewhere in there. Pop Warner sports, football, growing up in Fairfield, California, the functions, the house party. We both started dancing. Triple threat days all the way to L.A. is the only friend I had in L.A. at one point in time. You dig what I'm saying? Back to L.A. to the Bay, to Sac, L.A. Bay, Sac. You know what I'm saying? My guy's always been here. This dude has been on so many different tours, music videos, anything you can think of in the industry. This guy's been a part of. Matter of fact, if you look, I'm pretty sure if you Google J Lo right now, Jennifer Lopez, you'll see him lifting her up. Now, me, I would have dropped her. That's why I didn't get booked for that job. But, my man's here with the muscles and the master plan, held it down. You dig what I'm talking about? We got none other, Fairfield's finest, Matt Day.
Hello.
How you feeling, my brother?
I'm good, man. That was a great intro.
That was a great intro. Did I nail it? Did I nail it?
Oh, you nailed that. I was like, who? Is someone else coming? Like, what's going on?
It.
I nailed that.
I appreciate it.
I had to, the way you came into the crib, I had to do the proper introduction for this outfit.
Fly.
Hey, look, somebody gonna snapshot that and they gonna put that shit on. What's that, Feet Finder?
Feet Finder.
They gonna put him on Feet Finder.
Listen.
But man, look, tell the people a little bit about yourself, what you do, where you from.
Man, I'm from Fairfield, California, man.
Yes, sir.
The 707 I-80 baby, outskirts kid. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I did the dance industry for 10 years out in L.A.
Right.
Toured the world. I utilized that as my bite down.
Right.
A bite down is when you want to get out of poverty, you want to get out of the hood, you want to get out of a bad situation.
Yeah.
You have a bite down. It doesn't mean it's your dream. It doesn't mean that it's the end all be all. It's what you do to get to a place to where you can have a dream.
I just learned something today.
You know what I mean?
I just learned something today.
Some people choose college. Some people say, okay, I got to get the scholarship. So they get that scholarship. Once they get into college, they can figure out who they're going to become. You know what I mean? My bite down was dance. I now live here in Sacramento. I am the GM of a popular fitness brand, and we're bringing the first one out here to Sacramento.
Nice.
So, yeah, man, I took a step back. I moved a month ago, so I took a step back. I felt like after 10 years of running in the industry, I don't want to say I lost myself, but more so I just I wasn't in love with who I became as an industry person.
I feel like I've been there, and I talked to my cousin about that on the cast. I've been there.
Yeah.
So what you saying, I'm resonating with a lot. But continue, go ahead. I like where this is going.
No, yeah, I feel like I wasn't in love with the industry version of myself, which means after a certain point, I stopped producing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when I say producing, that doesn't mean jobs weren't coming in. It just means I stopped producing. I stopped being all of me. I stopped allowing the greatest version of me to thrive and shine. But it's also because I had put the industry on top of me.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like I was allowing what the industry created me to be to show more than who I am.
Okay, let's go with that.
Okay.
So in the industry, you said you allowed it to be on top of you.
Yeah.
What took place for you to realize that the industry was on top of you? You know what I'm saying? Like what
I was 27.
Okay.
I was 27. Now, you ain't even got to think, man. I was 27. I had just gotten out of a relationship. Mm-hmm. Yeah, toxic relationship. I was toxic too. I'm not gonna put it on her.
So it take two to tango.
Absolutely. Yeah, right. I mean, we were toxic for each other.
Yeah.
I knew that I had an alcohol problem at the time, and I had finally accepted an alcohol problem. Yeah. I had some things take place in my childhood that I had never told my parents.
Right.
And at that time, I told my parents about it.
Right.
Yeah. I was coming off of the J-Lo residency. Yeah. And I was like, after 3 years straight of a contract. So it's like, I don't want to say you know the Antonio Brown Raiders video. I'm free. I'm free. It ain't that. 'Cause
Not
I rock with
Antonio
Jen,
Brown.
yeah. 'Cause I rock with. It ain't that because I rock with Jen and I still did the tour and I still did Super Bowl after that. But it was like you're off of a contract. I get
Right.
to sit down, and I had gotten injured 3 months prior.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all of that took place. So I had to sit down, fresh out of relationship. I'm popping pain pills because of the injury. I'm addicted to alcohol. I'm living in Vegas with my family again. And I just was like, bro, how did you get here?
Right.
How you popping pills? You drinking every day, 12 beers a day, 24 beers a day, easy.
Jesus.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's for sure alcoholism for real.
Yeah.
I mean, I could do a bottle of Hennessy with nothing else, no chasing.
I remember that. I remember you always have a bottle of
I was
Hennessy.
so
Fifth?
angry.
No.
Or like a quart, like or
Fifth.
a fifth.
Yeah.
I know you was about to say a smaller one. That's why I was like, no.
Oh, a fifth.
Like,
Yeah.
That was like, we going out? Gotta go get a fifth. You know? And bro, I remember standing on the side of my mother's house and screaming at God, show me. Clearly I ain't got it, so show me.
okay. Let's go back. Let's go back some time. Because I know you. So these questions are not for me. Trust me.
No doubt. Dive in, my guy.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Give me your experience on growing up in Fairfield.
Can you elaborate a little bit?
Nigga, give me your experience of growing up in the hood. Yeah, you know.
So nah, I mean like, you know, it's just like every other. I don't want to say it's just like every other story because it's not. Nonetheless, it is the, what is the word I'm looking for? When something's like known, or what's the word I'm looking for?
I'm following you, but I just can't. The words not coming to mind.
Anywho, it's that story that everybody tells. I grew up in the hood. My dad wasn't around. He was
Typical
typical
cliche.
Yes.
Yeah, cliche.
Damn, that just was not coming to my tongue.
Nah, you good.
So it's a typical story, right? Like my daddy did drugs after my daddy went to Vietnam War, right? So he got hooked on drugs and all of the things. So that took him out of our life.
Right.
Yeah, as in the sense of being present.
Right.
Still had my father, but it took him out of my life in the sense of being present. Growing up in a neighborhood where you feel me like, I don't know, like they would do raids in our apartment. Oof. And it is what it is, you know. Saw my first dead body by middle school. You know what I mean? Lost my first friend in middle school to suicide.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you end up watching like 12, 13 people get buried by the time you graduate high school.
Right.
You know, so you 18 years old and me and my dad, or I'm 18 years old, me and my dad will sit down and you feel me, go back and forth about how many dead bodies we have stepped over. Yeah?
And I don't mean to cut you off, but it's just crazy how you can compare the two because your dad actually went to war.
Yeah. Vietnam War.
Yeah, and then you grew up in the US, which is supposed to be like you know what I'm saying? Like there's no war here.
Yeah.
But you can when you can sit down and have a conversation with your father like that, it almost I have this thing to where I say like people who grew up in like the hood and then people who go to war have the same
PTSD.
PTSD, exactly. So you know where I was going.
Yeah.
That it just blows my mind.
Absolutely. And you know, like I say all of that, nonetheless, like everybody was going through that.
Right.
So it's normal.
Right.
So I never knew that my upbringing, I never knew there was anything wrong with the way I grew up until I left.
Right.
So it's not until I got into LA and I started getting around other people who tried to make me feel.
I'm here with you so bad right now.
resonating,
I'm
right?
wrestling.
Nah,
like,
man, I buried my best friend's son, bro. I carried the casket, bro. And I had a woman tell me, I think that you're using that. She said that I was using that to make her feel sorry for me.
what?
Someone that's
I'm
never
dating this
experienced
woman.
loss.
I'm dating this woman. I'm dating this woman. And I'm like, Not like I was going through it at the time, right? I'm crying, I'm going through it, like I'm having a moment, and like you my one out here, we dating,
Right.
yeah. So I come to you with what I'm going through, and then you say, oh well, I feel like you're using that to try to make me feel sorry for you or something. You got to get over that. You don't get over that.
I don't mean to laugh at you, but that like what?
Yeah, bro. You don't get over that, and you never like. I carried the casket, bro. You never that never leaves. That never left me. Carrying the casket, going to the hospital, seeing that baby never left me.
Right.
Ever in my life. When I went to Lovelock Bridge for the very first time overseas, I believe it's in Paris, I believe. I took the lock, and you're supposed to be in love,
Yeah,
you know,
you
and did it.
put the lock
No,
in
I
there,
put baby Ricky, locked it, took a picture, sent it to his mom and dad, and threw the key. That way baby Ricky traveled. Baby Ricky traveled.
Understood. So,
You feel me?
you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, baby Ricky. You know what I'm saying?
So with that being said, it's like I never knew that all of those things that I went through
Right.
wasn't the norm because everybody that we grew up with was going through a version of that.
Right.
We all losing people because we all in the same community. Everybody, like, to have two parents in a household was an anomaly. So it's like it wasn't weird to have like one parent. It's not like, oh, you're the single parent family.
Right.
Yeah, like that's not how we grew up. And it's like, you got a dad. You know what I mean? Like, your dad around?
Yeah, he
You know
around
what I
like
mean?
he cool. Like
Yeah,
he
like,
good.
you know?
Like,
You know?
you wanna know what's crazy? I had that same revelation. I didn't realize I was dealing with trauma until like you said, I moved to LA, and then certain things that I thought was normal ended up like not being normal. You know what I'm saying? Like I've me and you have the same friends. So a lot of the people that passed away in your life was a part of my life as well.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? And then we have people that we don't know of each other's lives who passed away as well. Like kept going. It was like a thing. So yeah.
I'm privileged.
I was about to say, yeah.
I came separate front. Like I'm sitting up here listening. I'm like, I don't know about none of that.
Like your story would be different from ours.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
we grew up thinking that you were the abnormal one,
The outlier.
the outlier. But it's like, nah, like our stories are like not the majority.
Well,
I think it depends on the community you looking at.
But yes, but the hood is not big. It's small.
The hood is small, but I think don't forget that the black population is only 13% of America.
That's what I'm saying. That's small.
I know that's small, but for the community I'm talking about, I think that might unfortunately
Be the
be
majority.
a larger majority of the story for our community,
Are you speaking black community?
black community
Okay, see,
specifically.
but see, that's the thing though. When we started traveling and dancing and meeting so many people, because I know he's traveled just as much as I have, and you travel too. When you start to meet people outside of this community, it's not the norm.
But when you say outside this community, do you mean outside of the U.S.?
The black community.
can
right.
I
No,
can I challenge y'all?
What's that?
Yeah, you can do whatever you
I'm
want.
talking about just black community, but go ahead, my brother.
One,
We're gonna get back to that in a minute, but go ahead.
I believe that, like, unfortunately, oftentimes we'll say the hood, and then we instantly say black community. Yeah, and that's not the case.
True.
You get what I'm saying? Like, there's a large majority of us that have been forced into the hood.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's not, hood doesn't mean black. Yeah,
Well,
and I'm saying that more for the viewers than I am for this
Got
couch.
you. And when I say this,
Second,
okay, go ahead.
sorry.
No, I want you to get your shit off.
Though our experience felt normal to us, right? And like if your pop wasn't around or my pop wasn't around, or if somebody's dead or this or that, like in other communities, in other social economic classes, in other areas, their struggle looks different with the same traumatic result.
Different, yeah. Yeah, okay.
It just looked different.
I can get behind that.
We was never taught put on a front.
Right.
We was taught be for real because it's consequences to your actions.
Right.
As to where in other communities they're taught put on the front because if somebody believes in what you look like, there's no consequence to the action they don't know.
Ooh,
Okay.
dropping knowledge.
All right. So this how we coming in. I was doing the intro. I'm trying to figure out. I was gonna say. So how did you segue from the hood to dance? And we just going.
Yeah.
Hey, okay. So what got you into dance?
To be honest, bro, Three things. Yeah.
Hit me with
One, so my brother came out of the closet when I was 12. And I wasn't a dancer yet, right? I was playing sports. Nonetheless, my brother's still my superhero. You know what I mean? Like, still my older brother.
Yeah.
You know, so my brother was a dancer. I kind of found my own lane of it. You know what I mean? He did contemporary and things like that. I dived into hip hop, and I did so because, you know, like growing up, it's like you play sports, you do drugs,
Right.
you rap. Well, not do drugs, but you sell drugs.
I'm like,
Do or sell.
at that point in time.
You rap, or what do you do? You know what I mean? So in our community in the Bay Area, it's okay to dance. Luckily, we grew up in a space where it's okay to dance. So I picked up turf dancing. So one was because of my brother. Two, I would say you had to have some sort of a talent in order to attract women. Yeah, like we'd growing up being light skinned, and being light skinned wasn't fly.
Hello, not back in not back in the day, not back then.
Hood was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the harder you were, the more women you had.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I wasn't tough. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like
right.
I'm not gonna sit here in front and act like I was Billy Badass. You know what I mean? Just saying.
I'm still trying to figure out how I get women at all.
You a good looking brother? Why?
Well, no, not now.
Oh.
But back then, like, I kind of understand. Like, now I'm like, okay, well, I'm older and I got all these things. But back in the day, it was hard out there. But continue your story.
We gonna get to that. We gonna get to that.
And then three, man, I needed a bite down, bro. Like I need no three. Three is Mac Dre, Ricky, and Vallejo, California. Ricky Armand Abraham,
Rick.
took me to a party at his family house. And we that's back when hot sauce was popping.
You had the cut off shirts. I already knew what you were talking about because I had about 5 of them.
And it was the hyphy shirt because Federation had just came out.
You probably had on some fucking Jabos.
Pico, right? No, that night it was hella hot. It was the summer. I had on basketball shorts, bro. Like this is middle school, blood.
Yeah.
So then we went and we was turf dancing and we was doing Thiz dance. It was the Thiz dance. Thiz dance is really what got me into dance.
Right.
And then you feel me from that point forward, I just kind of like started to freestyle. Then I started kicking it with Rosebud and TR, and they was dancers as well. And,
Rosebud and TR to my dogs. Shout out to y'all.
Yeah, and then we just kept pushing. I kept pushing, and you know, come junior year of high school, I quit football and was like, I'm finna dance. That same year, one of my best friends got murdered, and I just was like, I was at a dance show, and I was like, damn, I should have been there, and I wasn't. So I kind of like looked at dance like, all right, that might be my bite down.
The savior. Okay.
Nice.
Hey,
That's a
Cuddy,
hell of a story right
hell
there.
of a story, right? I'm just like,
A lot of people don't know, man. A lot of people just think, oh, he dances and he's an attractive guy.
I like how you threw that in there.
With that, I'm attractive?
Yeah, I like that. Talk your shit.
I'm not talking my shit.
He's just speaking facts.
I think every human on earth should look at themselves and find attraction.
But when I say talk your shit, I mean like hype yourself up, congratulate yourself because you deserve it. You deserve whatever
Nobody
you
else
accomplish.
gonna do it for me.
Nobody, yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like, it's not that you fish for compliments. It's not because you know you're a handsome young man. Or what you say before? You cute ass nigga. Is that what you said?
I ain't say cute, man. I'm not cute.
You fine? He said fine. I knew one of the words.
Fine.
You like
I
to be
don't
cute?
like to be cute.
All right, cool.
I don't like to be cute, man.
All right, cool. So with this, so you go from Fairfield. Love is good. You go from Fairfield to L.A.
Yeah.
How was that transition?
Man, I was in a relationship at the time, and baby girl told me like, yeah, I'll move out there in a year. And she was just telling me that because she wanted me to chase my dream. So I respect her for that, right? Like it sucked when I found out that that was what she did.
Yeah.
It sucked, but like it didn't destroy the friendship.
Right.
So like leaving her behind, leaving my family behind, that all sucked. I went to a block audition, and the only reason I didn't get the agency is because I lived in the Bay.
Right.
And then after that, I was like, all right, so if like clearly I'm good enough to go out there and, you know what I mean, do some work.
Right.
So I came home. I saved money for about 6 months. I was working at Seven Flags Car Wash and Express Lube in Fairfield, California, in North Texas. Shouts out Jack Anthony.
By the Taco Bell.
Yeah. Shouts out Lori, Jack Anthony, and yeah, man. I saved money. I put everything in my trunk. I told my mom I had a place to stay, and I didn't. And I just moved.
Just went.
Yeah.
Your first job.
Yeah. My first job or my first professional gig?
Professional. First professional gig.
First professional gig. Shouts out Fresh Redding. It was will.i.am and Justin Bieber's music video "That Power" in Japan. We were in Japan for a week straight. Me and Fresh were working at a bar mitzvah company called H2H, and we were party pumpers, right, for a bunch of bar mitzvah kids, right. So we go in there and come on, kids, woo, and he could see that I could, do robotics. Popping. What was needed for the job.
Right.
Fatima asked Dubs who they had for like black robotics.
Right.
Dubs said Fresh. Fresh called one other person before me.
Yeah.
And that person turned the gig down. And then Fresh called me, and I was almost too light skinned for the job.
Yeah.
No, dead ass. I was almost too light skinned for the job. They was almost like, oh, he not dark enough to be black, right?
Right. It's the industry.
Yeah,
if
like,
you know the industry,
no,
you know.
No hate at all. Like typecasting is a real thing. Like what you want to see is what you want to see, and it is what it is. Like
Shape, size,
all of it. Color, you know what I mean? It's not
hair length, hairstyle, all this shit. Edgy.
I get it. You got a dream, you got a vision. That vision and that dream should be painted the way that you see it, not the way that society says it should be.
Right.
And I stand on that. And so then Fresh called me, and he was like, "Hey," and I was in rehearsal with Flex, right? And he was like, "Can you send me your headshot?" I was like, "I'm in rehearsal. Can I send you like my headshot in a bit?" He was like, "No."
No, not all. Hey, shout out to Fresh too.
Click, shouts out. Click. I sent him the headshot. A week later, I'm on a flight going to Japan for my first major gig, and then that turned into an overseas tour for that whole next year.
Woo. You wanna know what's crazy?
What's that?
About that? So when I first moved to LA, I was staying with this man and two other people in a small 1-bedroom studio, right?
Y'all
And
chasing y'all dreams.
This is like right when I left, you got that job, huh?
Yeah.
And Matt was telling me, he was like, "Don't go back. Don't go back to Fairfield. Ain't nothing out there in Fairfield. Don't go back. Don't go back. Don't go back." Mind you, this is when I think I'm Mad Chad at this time. So I'm like, all my robotics is there type shit. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, "Don't go back. Don't go back." I'm like, "Nah, I need to go back." I told him I had a plan, which I did. I said, "I got a plan. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna do this freestyle shit, get big. Then I'm gonna move back to LA with a name so I could just get my foot in the door." It's just certain people that you should fucking listen to.
Yes.
And I should have listened to this man.
Yeah.
I should have listened to this man. Because I was right there with you.
I don't know if you should have listened to me.
But it's also your story though.
Yeah.
Like your path and what you
moving
needed.
back home and doing what you did on your own merit allows me to now move back home and be confident in doing what I want to do on my own merit. So had you listened to me, I might still be in LA right now because the proof wouldn't be in the pudding.
Right.
Not to call you pudding, but
Hey,
what's up?
y'all niggas call me smooches.
Come on, pudding.
Hey, but
Remember
that's-
that?
Yeah.
But that's real. That he talking about a very important concept. Somebody got to go first.
Right.
So
Right.
he was first for you doing the international gigs and everything. You were first for him moving back to Fairfield and saying this can be done wherever I'm at. So
Right.
you know,
Understood. But yeah, if there's two people that I would listen to, it's y'all niggas. That's the crazy part. It's having y'all both here right now is a moment for me. Because you know what I'm saying? It's my brother. It's my cousin. You know what I'm talking about? And it's like, I take what y'all say to heart. It's not too many people that I'd be like, yeah, all right. But when y'all say shit, because I know y'all,
it's genuine where we're coming from.
I'm genuine, but I ain't shit. But it's the it's the genuine love that comes behind that. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, so fast forward, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Where are you today? What is Matt who is Matt Day today? And what is Matt Day trying to accomplish?
Man, so with everything that's taken place, bro, in the past 10, 12 years, right? You grow up thinking the world works one way. We living out here in the Bay Area, I was super liberal growing up, right? Super liberal growing up. But liberal now ain't what liberal was.
It ain't at all.
Just like Republican now ain't what Republican was.
Right.
So, and I don't want to dive into all of the politics because you know that's how that goes. And I said politics, not politics. Politics.
I'm not gonna say.
Put that on a t-shirt and sell it right under here. But nah, with everything that's done taking place, bro, I'm just I'm a man that's learned to understand acceptance, accountability.
Say it again.
I'm still learning patience, but every day it's revealed to me that, like, even when I didn't think I was putting in work, I was putting in work, and I didn't know that that work was for a specific moment that I had no idea was intended for my life based off the universe, God, Allah, or whoever believes in.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like I'm just a man who's completely open right now to diving into a different style of life. I'm 32 years old. I'm at the place of my life where like a wife sounds great, but only a wife, not a girlfriend, not a
Talk to him.
not a fling.
Talk to him.
A wife, and a wife don't mean a bad bitch. Yeah.
No, yeah, I get it.
Talking about a wife.
We had that discussion.
I've had multiple times where I've like dated women and like had other women tell me, "Don't mess that up. You don't even know her character,"
Right.
You just see her face.
and say, "Don't mess it up." So
Right.
who's actually being vain?
Right.
I could be the catch. Who knows?
Who knows?
Nope. Hello.
And most of the time,
Hello.
I wouldn't say most of the time. Some of the time, because there is 50-50 chance,
Yeah.
the men are the catch.
I mean, I don't want to say that because I don't know. Because I don't date men.
Well, that's what.
Sorry, you.
He said, "Yeah, hey, look, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm talking about myself. I'm a catch. Yeah, I'm talking about. So, yeah,
Like at the end of the day, bro. Like every relationship that I've ever been through taught me amazing things about life, myself, women. But I also give each experience to that individual.
right. So
I don't place that on women. I place it on that woman.
Yeah.
understood. So going back to what you just said, just said, is dance going to still be a part of your life?
Till the day I die. Till the day I die. I want to make films and television shows,
Right.
and I want to utilize dance heavily.
Okay.
I've played with writing scripts. I shot a short film. You would start in it. I just haven't edited it. I know. That's my lack.
I was just about to get to that.
Acceptance and accountability, right?
Yeah.
Acceptance and accountability. I take
hard part of the
accountability for
process,
that,
though.
and I accept the fact that some people might not be happy with the fact that it isn't out.
Right.
I accept that, and I take accountability that it is on me.
Yeah.
But and I'm in a growth process of learning how to become the next level of my artist.
Right.
And I won't let somebody else make me put out product when I could put out purpose.
Right. And shout out to Matt for letting me star in his short film. He did what I'm talking about.
And shouts out Terrence for helping so much.
Yeah.
Not only with
shout out
me,
to the
but
team.
yeah,
Shout out to the whole
everybody.
team, the whole cast. Like everybody was going crazy. You got anything you want to ask him before we just start?
I'm mad he ain't introduced us before.
Yeah.
You cool, bro.
Try to
Thank
tell
you,
you,
bro. Appreciate
I don't. You know, from me and you hanging around a lot
Yeah.
lately. You know, I don't rock with nobody that ain't on they shit.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like,
Well, I should have known you invited him to be on the podcast. That's not something you would just
do.
an invitation.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's not an invitation you would just give to anybody. I was like, yo, let's have. I was
because
like,
I'm
okay.
quick to say no. I was like,
Oh, in a heartbeat. He don't even say no. He just be like, the conversation just kind of move on. I'm like, oh, okay. So that's a hard no. He didn't even acknowledge that I said this person's name. But
because
gotta protect your space, man. I get it.
Because you're genuine, you just ain't shit.
I gotta protect. I gotta protect
that.
my space. I gotta protect the people that surround me, but I also gotta protect this brand. So
yeah.
we built. Me and my cousin built You Good Digital on the idea of trying to help people, specifically black men and black boys, grow and be able to have a space to be themselves and not attach themselves to quote unquote, like I said in the beginning, accountability, like you said, being in the hood, because that's not just what we are.
Right. So much more.
You get what I'm saying? We so much more. We're doing the food. We're like you brought up Rick.
RD, RD and Mar.
RDMR?
Yeah.
RDMR? You know what I'm talking about? They got the food.
Yep.
I got my homegirl Karen with me. Beautiful black woman. She's doing the food reviews with us. You know what I'm
Shouts
saying?
out RJ. RJ Kyla's mother as well. She out in Jacksonville. They took Sweet Blessings from LA. She opened up Sweet Blessings in LA, and then they took it back to Jacksonville. So like,
They sweet blessings?
yeah, that's RJ mama.
On Lancashire?
No.
It was on Lancashire.
No. Sweet Blessings wasn't on Lancashire.
It wasn't on Lancashire?
Nah, that was a different one.
Nah, man. I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna look that up off air. But
So I just
we gonna look that up off air.
that's
Yeah.
another black family business that was built from the mud.
Shout out to Sweet Blessings. You dig what I'm
Built
saying?
from the mud.
You know
Built from the mud.
But you said something, and it made me think about. You said you looking for love, a wife. You looking for.
Ready.
You not looking. Excuse me. Come on. Hold me accountable.
Two different
You
things.
ready for a wife? Can I ask y'all a question?
Oh, please do.
Let me ask y'all a question. In any relationship, what do you value more, love or respect, and why?
I'm gonna have to go with respect. You could so you could build love and everything, but respect is something like fundamental. Because I've been in relationships where I felt like a partner was disrespecting me, and I was like, I didn't like the love just went out the window when I felt like that. Right? It's just like because I looked her in her eyes one day. I was like, if you ever think that you want to think that thought you just had again, we done.
Right.
If you think you like, so my thing is 100% respect, because I don't think love can exist between two people if there's no true respect.
Right.
How can I say I love somebody and I don't respect them enough to like be kind to them or be gentle with them or think about their feelings and everything? So I'm 100% respect. 100%. Like I don't even know any other way to say it.
Right.
Yeah, respect. There's a really, really, really good book called The Way to the Superior Man. Yeah, when Nipsey got murdered, Lauren London, or they posted posted a list of books that he read, and Lauren London was talking about how I believe he got that book or she got it for him. One of the two. Yeah. So I read it and I've gone through it. I started again this week, and it's my 5th time going back through it. Right. It's like a Bible for me, bro. It's so good. But it was discussing how the masculine thrives through challenge, and then the feminine thrives through praise. Yeah, challenge is respect. Praise is love.
Right.
Yeah, like it is challenging to respect somebody who has a different view than yours. But when you love them, you respect them through their different views. Yeah, but the only way for you to love them is to respect the fact that that person deserves to have different views from you. Yeah, so I need respect before I can offer anything else. I'm going to go out into this world, and though I'm a yellow belly baby, I'm still a black man. Yeah, so as I go out into this world and I'm a black man in this world, it's not that I'm going to be disrespected every turn and every corner, but I'm also not going to get the respect that I deserve based off the fact that this is the country that we live in. Yeah, I believe I deserve a different level of respect. I've traveled. I've gone through 2.5 passports. Like I've been in rooms with individuals that most people on earth will never even be able to be around. Yeah. So like at that, I should get a different level of respect when we talk about how people choose to respect individuals. Nonetheless, I'm not going to because of my skin tone. Yeah. So when I come home to a woman who doesn't respect me, bro, I'm already facing that every day.
Outside.
I walk out of the house and it's what I get.
Right.
So when I come home, the last thing I want is to be disrespected.
Right.
We can suffer on the love part a little bit, and you know what I mean. But to be disrespected, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to do the arguing. We can have a debate. We can have a discussion. We can have but I need to know that at the end of the day, we gonna lay our head on these pillows together and we love each other.
Right.
Right. But that don't happen unless you respect the fact that both of us got different views.
Understood. Well, fuck y'all, because I don't have anything to say. Took the words right out of my mouth.
Bruh, speak it in your words, though.
I mean, there's nothing to say. I agree 100%. I would just be riding the wave at this point.
I had a season back to take it back to the beginning when you were like, hey, when did you realize the industry? In that season, that 27-year-old season, I dived into a lot of Farrakhan. I dived into a lot of Dr. Miles Monroe, a lot of Les Brown. I remember going on YouTube and thinking damn, I have no representation. Right? Not black, but just masculinity.
Right.
Yeah. The idea of masculine then was Rocky Balboa, so how to be a better man.
Right.
Yeah. And I remember listening to one, and I forget who it was. I think it was Dr. Miles Monroe or T.D. Jakes, but he was saying let's say God is real, right? As far as Christians, God, right? And Adam and Eve is real. Let's say that. Yeah. If that's the truth, God made man to come and do work. And to do work is to perform your function.
Right.
So as he's doing his work, he then realized, well, he can't just be a workhorse. He needs a companion. So he takes the rib of the man to
Right.
create the woman, Eve. So that woman's job, right, her function, to perform her function is to pour anointing into her man. And that anointing is to respect him enough to see what he cannot see in himself. Not what he cannot see about himself, but in himself.
Right.
Yeah? And that's what your partner should be able to do.
Right.
She should be able to look at you and pour the value in the areas that you cannot imagine value,
Right.
that you can't see it. Why? Because she's the missing rib.
Right.
Yeah? It's your anointing.
So what's respect to y'all? What does respect look like? And like I said, it doesn't have to be necessarily a part. Let's just go general blanket statement. Respect. No relationships can be anything. Friendships,
Right.
girlfriends, whatever. What is respect to you?
I have to think on that.
Put your pride aside to have an honest conversation where you hear me and you digest what I'm saying before you have a rebuttal.
Okay.
That is respect.
Okay.
I think it's just like when you could just be in a space with someone and just accept them for who they are, and both people have an acceptance and understanding that we're not always gonna see eye to eye.
Yeah.
We're not always gonna be. We may not be friends. We may not, but I could respect you. I could appreciate who you are and let you be, and you could appreciate who I am and let me be that person
Right.
and everything. And that might mean we got to step away from each other because we aren't for each other.
Yeah.
Or that might mean we could be together. But I think that's kind of like what I would in generally say what respect is. We might have to get the different dictionary definition of that so we all talking about the same thing.
I think respect is basically what you guys said. It's and to add to what you guys said, I think it's consideration as well.
Yeah.
Like, are you considerate of this person's feelings, how they do things? Are you know what I'm saying? Like
When you say that, to question it so I can have clarity, yeah? When you say it, so let's say I had to have consideration for the next person. Does that mean that I'm rewording something in order to make it easier for them, or I'm taking into consideration that person's upbringing and how they are
taking
before
into consideration.
Okay.
Not necessarily. You don't have to take it and consider it and move
Okay.
differently. I'm saying
cool.
like take it into consideration and understand where they're coming from, no matter where you may be coming from. You know what I'm
Correct.
saying? Because I
Yes.
agree with you. I just want to add that because I was that person. I didn't have respect for a lot of people because I didn't take into consideration how they are different from me. How they grew up different from me. It was always like, nah, like this is how it is. Like it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like
It's law.
It's law. You know what I'm saying? Like it's Bible at this point in time. And they're like, but it's not though. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'm like, no, it is. So I'm not respecting them as a person with their own opinions and their own story. You know what I'm saying? I kind of like brushed it away and it's like,
And do you feel like that's because yours was never actually respected? It was given to you and then challenged right away?
possibly. I had to, when you grow up, you got to earn your respect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you got to earn it no matter what playing field, no matter what game we step into of life, we have to earn our respect. And I think as a man, and then especially from how we grew up, I felt like I had to force
Respect.
respect. However, I needed to force respect.
And that's interesting.
You know what I'm saying? Like
That was not my experience at all.
I had to take it, even with dance. Like, okay, you don't think I'm raw? I'm going to make you think that because I'm going to show you. Or if you don't, you know what I'm saying? Like in school, like you know what I'm saying? Like we got a issue. You don't respect me. Okay, well then, nigga, we gotta catch the fade after school with the murder dubs on. You know what I'm saying? Like it's how I grew up, and I thought that was law again, and it's
Yo, Gotti.
you know what I'm saying? And it for me going back to the connecting the two, the respect came from when I just looked at it differently, and your story is different from mine. How you grew up is different from mine, and I have to respect that so we can get along. Like you said, the respect comes with the love. Once I started seeing that and respected everybody else, my love for people grew. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Like my love just was
Do you think that your love for self grew?
um
So it was really just an overpouring of self love, not so much more love for others, but like, damn, you actually got to accept yourself for the first time as unique.
nah, I don't think that. Not for me.
Okay.
Not for me. But what you about to say, Oscar?
I was curious, and I guess you kind of just answered my question, but like, have you always respected yourself? Because trying to force someone else to respect you.
No,
Okay.
I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't. And how I know I didn't respect myself is because I've invested so much time and bullshit into things that I knew wasn't good for me. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
growing up and being around and being with a whole bunch of different women and smoking and hanging out and staying out late, eating crazy, being out all time of the
Right.
nights and the hours, carrying guns or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew that wasn't good for me. And as I grew up to a man, I learned that self love is not just going to get massages.
Right.
I learned that self love is, you know, what are you eating? What are you eating?
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Are you drinking your water today? Are you resting? Because everything is not a race to get to the end.
Right.
You know, are you okay with being who you are?
Yeah. And that right there is like, that's big, because I know I was fortunate to have a father in my home. Like, even though my parents split and broke up,
Yeah.
I knew my dad loved me. I knew my mom loved me. I had a father in my home. And my dad always told me, like, your feelings are yours and people have to respect those.
Yeah.
And so, like, I think there's like two different types of respect. I expect basic human respect from anyone that I come in contact. That's the expectation I have.
Yeah.
And with that expectation, I also expect myself to give other humans that basic human respect.
Right.
Right? The other respect is the one of, oh, you don't think I'm good at dance? I'm gonna show you.
Right.
Well, that respect I do think you have to earn, right?
Right.
That's more than that basic human respect. But I look at respect kind of tiered like that. Like, all right, when I walk into this room, I expect everybody to respect me, as long as I'm nice and kind and I present myself in a good manner. But then as a photographer, I know I got to prove myself, right? Like, I know, like, I gotta work hard. I gotta produce the product. I gotta produce all that, and to earn that respect in my craft or in that field. But as a basic human being, I respect everyone, and I expect everyone to respect me, because I just
Not me. I had it all across the board. Like you gonna respect me on anything that I do. You know what I'm saying? And it was. I think it's because I probably didn't love myself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when you asked that question, I think it had a lot to do with just me not accepting who I was. Because it is a big transition from. And I want to ask you that too. You know what I'm saying? Oh, like going from how we grew up to the dance industry. It's almost like a culture shock. That's that playing loud as hell. It's almost like a culture shock. I had to almost fight myself because of how aggressive I was towards certain things and certain people. That's why I said the respect wasn't there, because I was aggressive no matter what the situation was. And I feel like it had a lot to do with my upbringing growing up from Fairfield and going to that dance. How do you feel from, because I know you off camera. How did you deal with that part of your life transitioning to that dance, like emotional wise? Like,
I was horrible. It was horrible for me. I was horrible at dealing with it. I didn't like. I felt the same, right? Like very big culture shock in the sense of like moving out there, nonetheless being light skinned, like black and white, being raised by a white mother, having a black dad who was incarcerated, right? Like you know how you said you had a father in the house, and like he taught you those are your feelings. People are gonna respect them. My father, he was incarcerated, so like the job of the warden and all the COs and this, that, and the other is to break individuals, not teach them and rehabilitate them, but to break them. So like I watched my father every time he would go into jail come back out and respect himself less because of what he had to go through while he was in there.
Right.
Yeah, but then when he comes out, you have this record over your head. So then every time you try to go take a step forward, people don't respect you.
Right.
So then you respect yourself less.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like I watched my father as a boy. I watched the men, my father and my brother were my superheroes. Though my dad wasn't in the house, he was still my father. And my mom kept it a buck with me since I was as long as I can remember. You know what I mean? So she always told me like, no, your dad has a drug issue. Your dad is not a bad man.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So she made sure I understood what drug issue.
That's shout out to your
powerful.
moms for that.
Yeah, that's real powerful.
Shout out
And then
to
my
your mom
pops,
for that, for real.
same thing with my pops. He was like, listen, I have an issue. Don't do as I do.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, don't be me. Watch me, and this is not how you act.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Dad told me the same thing.
you know? And I think that when I transitioned over into, I don't even like saying that word no more. When I transitioned into,
Yo.
Hey, whatever you about to say, stop. Stop.
You already-
Stop.
I don't like saying it because it's a trigger word for people. You are a troll, so
Yeah.
I am gonna keep rolling over yours next statement. But no, when I moved to LA, it was the first time. Like I told Fresh this a long time ago. I feel like him and Danny Rogers and those people, like they all went
Shout
to
out to
college.
Danny.
Yeah, my guys. They all went to college.
I'm glad you brought this up. Got a question for you next.
They all went to college, and when they went to college, they went through the process of what I call human gentrification that me and you went through when we got to LA. So they had a season prior to moving into their work environment where they got to go through that human gentrification. We did not.
Please explain.
But that's no. That's what I was about to ask you.
Okay.
Because I know we had a different transition
Right.
from where we was at into dance.
Mm-hmm.
How was your transition from the Bay Area, which is very multicultural?
Mm-hmm.
And,
It's white, but continue.
right, very.
I'll say
multicultural.
It is multicultural, but it's predominantly white.
Got you.
We talking about San Fran.
We talking about that area.
I say San Fran because you said white. Or Frisco, then it would be black.
Right.
How was that transition from that to going to HBCU?
If I could go live at Howard for the rest of my life, I would. And
Never mind.
stop. Not for those reasons. Stop. Not for those reasons.
Not for those
But
reasons? All right, cool.
Here's why I say that. You know, we talk about everything we've talked about. Black and race is always a thing.
Mm-hmm.
When I went to Howard, I was a kid.
That's it.
That's it. And I've never experienced that in my life before that time. And I will probably never experience it after, because being a Black American, we don't have our own place, right? All we have is America, a country that thought we were 2/5 of a human when it was stood up. This is all we have, right? We go to Africa, we're American. We go to London or Europe, we're American.
Right.
And it's like the only time I've ever felt just like a person, just a regular person with no qualifiers, was when I was at Howard.
So was the transition culture shock, or did you like fit right in? How was that?
It was a cultural shock for about 3 weeks.
And
then I was like,
I'm here.
This is why. Well, and here's why. Because I looked around and I saw, because when I grew up, I got teased for speaking proper English. They asked me, why you talk white? And this one young lady called me an Oreo. She's like, you black on the outside, white on the inside. And then I went to Howard, and then I see people from Africa, people from all around the country, and I see goth black kids, and then I see hip hop black kids, and I see this type of black kid, and this type, and I see these kids that look like they grew up in the hood, that they looked hood, had 4.0s
Right.
and full ride scholarships.
Right.
And I'm sitting up here like,
Mind
yo,
blown,
I was like,
mind blown.
yo, what is going on here? Like, is this a thing? So I could just be a person?
Right.
I'm not the smart black. And at Howard, I wasn't the smart black kid. I was an average or slightly below average kid at Howard, because like it's literally, it's like,
outside. That's why.
but
He
anywho,
was outside. That's why.
anywho, but it's just like it wasn't a culture shock, because I guarantee y'all, if y'all did a semester at Howard, you would just feel at home, just automatically, because
No, bro. I got to challenge you on that, man. When I moved to LA, it was the first time I wasn't black.
I was just about to say that.
Okay.
How you feel is how I felt when I first moved to when I started dancing in L.A. Like race just went out the window. And I just felt like a person.
Oh
in
no, that's
society.
not how. No, that's not what I meant.
Oh, that's not what you meant.
I meant
Oh, I felt
I
like that.
now. This was the first time I wasn't black. I was other,
Oh,
which doesn't even have an ethnicity.
yeah,
I'm
'cause
just.
I ain't gonna lie, you do look like you could be a Puerto Rican,
I know I love
Dominican,
Dominican, Puerto Rican,
Armenian,
Armenian.
Racially
Arab.
ambiguous.
Yeah, I'm racially ambiguous. Nonetheless,
Salam
like my
alaikum, my
daddy is a
brother.
black man.
Right.
You know what I mean? My father is a black man from the South.
You know I gotta troll
You know
you,
what I
a
mean?
little bit.
You said what?
You know I had to troll you a little bit.
I know. Listen,
But
I'm finna feed you.
I know you challenged me on that. I promise, like, because
I think as an adult man, I don't know if
maybe not as an adult man. It might be because here's why I say, if you had that experience in your late teen years, early 20s, it would probably resonate more. Both of you all are confident in who you are as men, so I think you would still appreciate the experience. I don't know if it would be as life altering as it was for me.
I think my question is, would the same thing that happened to me in LA happen to me there?
No,
I don't know.
I don't
That's
think so.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
Right.
So you know what I mean?
I see what you're saying.
That's where my fear is at. Once I moved away from home, all of a sudden I just was other. So there were certain conversations that people were like, "Oh, you can't have that
Yeah, no. See,
because I don't play."
They try to make you stop saying nigga.
Absolutely.
That's
Really?
crazy.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
crazy.
And like, oh, you don't play spades. No, I don't play spades because my father wouldn't teach me because he said that's a prison game.
ooh,
A lot of black people don't teach people how to play spades. All my
No,
uncles.
no, no, no.
All my
It's a prison game is why my black father did not want to teach me because he said he learned it in prison and did not want me doing anything prison bound. So that is why. So to take my blackness away.
Is that why all black people say you don't play spades? I ain't playing with you then. You gotta learn.
I'm just saying to take my blackness away based off the fact that my father was trying to look out for me the best he could, not being able to be around. Like I think that that's very unfair.
Right.
so I don't think you
Sorry.
would have had that experience
Yeah.
at Howard. I just don't like because the community was so diverse. You would have had your community, right? So it might have been I don't like you because of how you dress, which is a normal thing.
Yeah.
Like it's not. It wouldn't have been racial. No one would have even challenged your black card. It wouldn't even been. I don't think it would have been questioned.
Amazing.
Like, and that's why I said the experience was so profound for me, and that I know I can't get that experience anywhere else in this entire world.
But see, that's the thing though. I've never had because you've had your blackness questioned, and you've had your blackness questioned. I've never had my blackness.
Because you present as a hood nigga. That's why no one's ever questioned your black.
So that's what I'm saying. So that experience for you at Howard probably wouldn't. It would have been a normal day for me.
I know it's still different.
You know what I'm saying? Like
No,
possibly. We don't never know. I mean,
I-
let's go to homecoming one time.
we could. Well, that's a whole different experience. But what I'm saying is, when we go out into this world as black men, there are microaggressions that happen to us all the time.
Every day.
Yeah. No, I get it.
You don't have that at Howard.
Right.
You know why? Because if there is a microaggression, it's not because you black. It's because I don't. It's
Because I don't rock with you.
Because I don't rock with you. Right? That's a whole different experience, right?
Yeah.
Like I go out into this world, and I've been in situations where, did I not get that raise because I'm black or because I'm not qualified? Did I not because I'm black or because no? At Howard, that's not a question.
Right.
We all black.
Right.
From the person picking up the trash to the person who running the school, we all black.
Right.
Right.
From the janitor to the dean.
Yeah. So all of that goes out the window, right? It's is Mosey or is Guy good at what he does, and that's it. So you saying like,
I hear you, but because I don't think I've experienced that. Because I've always, to me, I've never felt like, I don't know, people may not think I'm black or I'm black enough or I'm too black. It's just that I've always been black.
right? I promise
And
you,
it's probably because I fit the natural aesthetic,
stereotypical
stereotypical
Black
black
guy.
guy, you know, whether it's hood or
You
whether
didn't
it's...
always.
I didn't.
You didn't always back in the day when you used to wear when we Aeropostale.
Aeropostale. Ah,
You know what I mean?
Aeropostale.
Back in
And
the
we used to have the
Jim
skinny
Jones
jean
days,
with the
yeah.
chains. We was trying to
Yeah,
be
man, like
the
Jim
diplomats.
Jones, yeah, bowling, yeah, on a budget.
Just for show at Route
Yeah,
21.
bro, you didn't
Route
always
21.
present that way. You know what I mean? Like,
But then again, even when I did dress
you was
like
Fruity
that,
Pebble punk rock.
that's crazy. You bringing it back, bro. But even then, I still wasn't challenged on my blackness.
Yeah.
So I hear what you're saying, cousin. I do, and trust me, I do feel like if I was ever in a spot or a HBCU, I would feel different because of that per se. Like just even okay, I'll agree with you to a certain extent because even when I go to Atlanta, I see all black people, and I have a little bit of feeling. It's not like crazy, but it's like, oh, okay, I get it. Everybody's black, you know.
I'll say this. I don't know if your daughter gonna go to college. If I don't know what
That's
your
the
plan,
plan.
but I'll
plan.
say this: whatever college she goes to, have her do at least one semester at a HBCU.
I don't even know if I wanted to go to that.
Let me. I'm not saying. I'm not saying go there for all 4 years or whatever. She needs to have one semester
Experience.
that experience to exchange. Because I can't put it into words.
I get
that
what you're
experience
saying, especially because my daughter's going to be
Yeah.
multicultural.
Because, like-
biracial. That's
Right.
what I was looking for.
But at Howard, when you're black, because I can look at you, I'm like, he black. Like, there's no question in my head.
I've
right?
never questioned
Right?
being black.
When you go to Howard, like it's just family, right? You don't because black people come in all different shades,
Yeah.
right?
Man.
And so at Howard,
Albino.
Well, maybe because I
Gonna be
look at that
questioned.
because I never could question your blackness is because you and my mother have the same
Skin tone.
skin tone. She might be a little bit lighter than
But
you.
now, I wanna give y'all just a little bit of pushback on something because I think that there's a very important conversation that does need to be had. Yeah. So when George Floyd took place, right?
Okay.
All of that and like everything erupted. My first instinct
You about to
was
get me canceled.
everybody fake. All of this is bullshit, and the only reason everybody rioting and doing everything is because they can't be outside, and this is an excuse to go outside.
Okay.
We fast forward, proof is in the pudding.
Right.
That's what
exactly
it is.
was, right.
Now, what it did have me do though is I had to sit back and I had to watch everybody. Yeah, and see how people maneuvered, see what people thought, and this, that, and the other. There's a lot of TV shows that came out within that time. Blind Spotting is one of those TV shows. Yeah, Blind Spotting, and that's the one that takes place in Oakland.
I gotta watch
They
it.
have a conversation about blackness, and it's a little light skinned boy, and there's certain movies he hadn't seen, and that was what they were qualifying if he was black or not. So then they had a roundtable conversation about blackness, and it really just came down to the fact that like you can't put an experience on an ethnicity. Yeah, like you have to respect that ethnicity. Back in the day, I used to be like, well, he got two parents and dot dot dot, but I don't get to dilute his blackness
Right.
because he had two successful black parents.
Right.
I have to stand in my whiteness in order to respect his blackness.
Right.
If I expect somebody who's fully white to respect anything any of us got to say. You get what I'm saying? So like I stand as, yes, I am a black man, but I started it with I'm a yellow belly baby because at the end of the day, my mother is white. I am both black and I am white. I am the oppressed and the oppressor, the slave and the slave owner. Right. Yeah, like that is really like my family is from Louisiana and Texas. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
There.
So with that being said, if I look at my brethren, RJ, right, I watched him go through a major like grabbing hold of himself as a black man. If I look at him and I want to respect him fully as a black man, then that means I have to stand in the privilege that I do have by being half white. So yes, I am a black man. Nonetheless, in order to respect y'all who are full black, I have to also stand in my whiteness. Yeah, and that's an interesting conversation that I think a lot of people who are in my position don't have because they don't have the conversation because their whole life they've had to choose one or the other.
Right.
They felt that way. We no longer need to. The only way that we can truly respect black is if we take our rightful place too.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, there's an experience that y'all are going to go through that I will never have in my life.
And I think that is very important because there are biracial people who I feel like don't, like you said, you don't need to choose a side. You have to understand where you come from on both sides.
Unfortunately, I feel like that's what happened with Colin Kaepernick.
He chose a side.
For acceptance. He
Yeah,
wanted because
yeah.
he grew up in Tracy, Turlock, or wherever that's at.
And he had 2 white parents that he adopted.
He and his whole, like, if you watch his TV show, his whole thing is about acceptance. And I think that him taking a knee was less about black and more about acceptance long term. Originally, it was about police brutality and this, that, and the other. But then he stuck in it because he finally had a group accept him fully.
I'm going to say I agree with that is because his image changed as well.
Dramatically.
He went from, just being Colin Kaepernick
to
pro-black, afro, fist, braids, kente cloths, and it was like it almost came off to me as performative, just like you said about people that was in the pandemic during the whole George Floyd thing. It was almost performative because I, even as a businessman, I have my own clothing brand. Everybody was buy black. Everything was buy black. Like the sales that I had for those 3-4 months,
he was booming,
ridiculous. Now that the world is back open, everything is back to normal. It's kind of like, are we still buying black?
Mm-mm.
You remember the episode we talked about that? I had everything on all black.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I make sure I keep something black on essentials, black on. I make sure I keep something on me that's black on just so I'm a representation of what I like to preach.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
And that's no disrespect to the brother Colin Kaepernick, nor no disrespect to Ava DuVernay. Nonetheless, I just think as a light-skinned man, they missed the mark on that television show. As a man that grew up with a white mom, missed the mark on what the light-skinned experience is in America when it comes to like this shit.
And I don't think it's fair.
Shit.
I don't even think it's fair that y'all have to choose.
I do.
I don't.
You got to get down with somebody to get down. You got to get down with you trying to play both sides. You're not going to be able to really dive into you. You have to go so far to one so you can view the other side.
That's a different perspective.
Yeah.
If I stand on top of the fence, I never get anything from either side. But if I choose a side, I can look through the fence.
Yeah.
So you think you have to choose one side in order to respect the other?
At least for a season. And then you can switch over.
Have to have the experience.
But that's what I'm saying, though. Yeah. You should be able to experience both and not just have to stick to one because you think because then for me, I feel like you're negating one whole side of who you are.
But who's going to accept you first? Black. So I'm
not telling you anything because I'm not a light-skinned man.
No. Yeah, absolutely. So. But this is me not arguing your point.
We're shooting the shit.
Yeah.
Got you.
Black is going to accept me before white does.
100%.
Well, black, we accept, nigga.
So because of that, people who are mixed often over-exaggerate who they are in order to fit in to a space that they know they have a lack in.
Got you. Because I was about to say, black people, they give everybody, the little white boy that dance on TikTok and be hitting that shit, they be like, he invited to the cookout.
But Ricky and all of them, they call me their white friend. Like I'm their white friend. My mama cooked pork chops.
Shout out to Rick.
Applesauce. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Rick.
Yeah, I had some white meals. casserole.
You didn't have potato salad with raisins, right?
No. Right. My mom put in some potato salad.
All
right, cool.
His mama not that. She not that white. She not. That's.
She's not a Karen. Nonetheless,
that's what I mean. That's why I was trying to avoid.
But we're in an unfortunate space where, if my mom walk into a store, and somebody in front of her, and she feel like that person disrespects her, and that person happens to be black, they can turn around, pull a camera out, and film my mom and call her a Karen and this, that, and the other, not knowing that she raised 3 black babies and had a black husband. Right. And grew up and lived the majority of her life in the hood and broke bread with and got raised, re-raised, I should say.
Yes. Right.
She was re-raised by the black community. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean that she's black.
She had a hand in raising.
Exactly. So it's like she has her stripes.
I've been over
That's
to
not
his
make
house.
Her black, but she has stripes.
I've been over to his house a couple of times, and my Deuce can cook for us. You know what I'm saying? And we've been laughing and sessioning in the living room. I remember. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
It's a very odd time when it comes to being a light-skinned male. Nonetheless, I do believe that when you're mixed, you do have to choose a side at a point in order for you to respect the other side enough to go dive into them honestly.
Right. Okay.
Because I still rock with my rock music, and you know what I mean? I
love Evanescence.
Yeah, come on. Evanescence, come on.
I love Evanescence.
But country music, rock music, I love doing white stuff. You know what I mean?
What's white stuff?
Yeah, what is white? Please define white
White
stuff.
stuff, bro.
White
Like
stuff.
I'll
Like
go,
what?
I'll go to the rock concert for sure.
Have you ever been skydiving?
Yeah, I want to go skydiving. I want to go bungee jumping. I want to all of that.
I feel like skydiving is for
I want to go swimming with sharks with no cage. Sorry, I cut you off.
Might
See, I don't even feel like that's white stuff.
What
I
the
just
shark thing is.
I just feel like he's a shark thing is.
that is for sure.
I just feel like there's a certain type of adrenaline rush that you probably trying to chase.
Well, so can
Yeah, but it's
white
attached
stuff?
to my white side.
so here's my thing. So I've been skydiving before. I love it. I would love to go again. But I stepped back and I was dating this white woman, and I looked at her and I was like, "You do know
Milk of magnesia. Sorry.
I was like, "You do know skydiving is something white people created." She's like, "Well, why do you say that?" I was like, "Because as a black man in America, I don't have to seek a thrill by jumping out of an airplane.
I go out the door.
I just walk out of my front door, and I got enough of a thrill right there."
Right, it's dangerous, but it's lit.
Yeah. But so
Petty.
that's what I guess that's what I classify as white stuff. I had to get a adrenaline rush because walking out my door wasn't enough for me this morning.
Damn. Well, I don't like to do white stuff.
I do. I go skydiving.
like to
Whenever you
keep
want to
my
go
feet-
skydiving, let me
I'm
know.
with it.
I
Yeah.
like to keep my feet on the ground. I like to go into the ocean.
We're gonna take him skydiving.
I like to go to the ocean.
I ain't swimming with sharks. I don't know how to swim. I don't
Knee
know how to
high. That's me. If I get anything
know how
knee
to
high,
swim?
I'm not going. Yeah, I know how to swim.
I don't. Not at all.
Like I don't like my adrenaline is I don't know, but it ain't that.
It ain't that.
It ain't that.
It ain't that.
Yeah. See, I like to I like to go. Like growing up, I had mostly black friends, but then I had my white friends, and they never hung out with the black friends. And it's
Really?
not because it was racist. It's because like I'm gonna go skateboard and BMX.
I used to skateboard and BMX.
You do white shit. You just don't want to admit it.
You wait, time out. You think skateboarding and BMX is white shit?
Yes.
Now it's not.
My
Back
cousin
in
is
our day.
my cousin back in the day
All
was
we had
signed.
was what was his name? Kareem.
No,
Kareem, the
he was a
skateboarder.
professional. Yeah, my cousin Apollo Cuts. He was signed to Thiz record, or was it Thiz? Or I think it was Thiz as a skateboarder when we were in high school.
That's fine.
He
But
skateboarded.
That wasn't-
because
it
that's
was-
an anomaly.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that
Got
you know
you,
what I mean.
got you.
Like you can't be like
Minority is not the
I know
majority.
that one person.
But listen though. But to me, that's not white stuff because I did it. My cousin did it. I had another.
It was
cousin
white
that
stuff.
did
I
it.
promise you, skateboarding.
Bro, the
when we
city
growing up
of
was white
Fairfield
stuff.
put in a skate park.
And I used to be at it.
But they shut down the skating rink.
Well, because niggas was shooting up the skating
They
rink.
shut down the skating rink to open a skate park because it draws a different crowd. One is
Matt,
for
I don't think that correlation makes sense. Cause
How?
we used to be at the skating rink, and that it used to get shot up
it
every
draws
weekend.
a different crowd.
I
The
can't-
police were
I hear
outside
you.
of the house parties we were at. They were not at the skate park.
because they wasn't beating nobody up at the skate park. Yes, they was.
Who was at the skate park?
I got to a couple fights at the skate park.
Who was at the skate park? Mostly
I hear you.
Caucasian males.
I hear you. But during the times that we was growing up, how many incidents were there versus the skate park versus the skating rink?
Bro, like I don't know. I wasn't at the skate park like that. But we also got to understand though. Like,
No, but you-
being from the Bay Area, we have the Hell's Angels, right? And the Hell's Angels.
I think you're conflating the two.
No, I don't think so,
because-
bro.
How I see it is when I used to go to the skate park, yeah, there might be a fight between, skaters bumping into each other, but it was handled very much whatever the case may be. That's black, white, whatever, because I was out there with the blacks, the Mexicans, and the whites. Fairfield is very much mixed. But going to the skating rink, the Mexicans, the blacks, shit would happen.
I get that things would happen. So let's take everything that they have to have as a meeting point away. And now we don't know where it's gonna happen. So now we can't even show up and have a no. Rock with me.
I'm rocking
So now
with
we
you.
can't even show up to have a police force around a space that we know is a volatile environment. We're just gonna take all volatile environments away, and now bullets are gonna go fly through people's homes
Understood. But
because now we don't have a meeting point. But then what they did do,
I get it,
is
but we
feed
can also take accountability for the shit that we're doing that shouldn't even be happening in the first place. Whether it be the skating rink, whether it be the skate park, whether it be somebody's house, neighborhood house party.
I
it shouldn't even happen to. That's my whole thing. Like,
I agree with you.
We could knock out the skate park. We could knock out the skating rink and then create a skate park. Maybe because that is the safer option. So it's not a white for me going
But
back.
it's
to
a
the
safer
situation.
option for who?
Anybody that fucking picks up a skateboard.
No, it's a safe. Bro, stop acting like you ignorant to the conversations that happen behind closed doors.
That's because people choose to think what's white and black. I grew up in a house to where I can do whatever the fuck I chose to.
Okay, well,
so it was like I did BMX.
That's a very small experience.
But that's what I'm. But why is that? That's my point.
Why is that?
Because
not anymore. It was
no. I'm talking about back then.
We was kids.
Yeah, back then.